Wait a minute. Why is the check engine light coming on? It's not time for my oil change yet. Psst. Hey, do you worry about your mechanic or dealership scamming you? Well, you don't have to worry about it anymore with the ANCEL OBD2 scanner. Straight out box, you have to use this manual. I highly suggest you read it because there are a lot of codes and information here that's very useful. So you have your alligator clips or jumper cables, positive and negative. It's a pretty short cable, and this is the OBD2 scanner input cable, all right? And we have the USB-A to micro USB. This is used to transfer data from the scanner to computer. And also here's another OBD2 scanner cable along with the OBD2 scanner. So OBD stands for Onboard Diagnostic. The 2 stands for Generation 2. So for those of you who are knowledgeable of what a OBD sensor can do, or you just not car savvy, let me tell you about the history. So the first generation of onboard diagnostics called OBD1 was developed by the California Air Resources Board and introduced in 1988 to monitor some components of vehicle emission control. With advancement of technology and the desire to improve the onboard diagnostic system, a new generation of onboard diagnostic system was developed. The second generation onboard diagnostic system is called OBD2. The OBD2 system is designed to monitor emission control systems and major engine components by performing either continuous or periodic tests of specific components and vehicle conditions. When a problem is detected, the OBD2 system turns on a warning lights called a MIL, M-I-L, on the vehicle's instrument panel to alert the driver, typically with the words check engine or service engine soon. Does it sound familiar? The system also stores important information about the detected malfunction so a technician can accurately find and fix the problem. So it's broken down into 3 valuable pieces of information: whether the malfunction indicator lamp MIL is set to on or off, whether the diagnostic trouble codes DTCs are stored, and if so, which ones, and 3, status of the standby monitor. Take a look at the video of Mazda provided with their QTC code and confirm that it's not fake.
Hello there, this is Case doing your check engine light diagnosis today. So what we got going on here, it's a code P2009 for the intake manifold runner control circuit. And so what that means is you have these 2 solenoids right here. There's intake manifolds. They make them longer or shorter for high RPM or low RPM performance. So what's going on is this black solenoid here, it's not working properly. So it's going to have to be replaced, and they're replaced in a set. So you got to take a bunch of stuff off to get to it. So I'm going to do an estimate for that.
So what this OBD2 sensor can do is that you can run a charge test, crank test, battery test, engine scanner, and also smog check. So first I'm going to start out by connecting these cables, and then I'll manually do a check on the battery, but of course you can also do it internally. Depending on what type of test you're going to run, make sure you open the garage so it's well ventilated so you don't breathe in the toxic fumes. Alright, I have my trunk open. I'm going to connect the positive, the red lead here, and the black lead to the negative. Okay, see how that automatically powers on. I'm going to switch over to the battery. Just doing this voltmeter test. It's showing 12.37 volts. Battery test. I don't know about the specifics, but I'm going to follow the manual. I'm going to say regular flooded, CCA. Okay. testing right now. All right, and there's the health, 61% remaining, I think. There's the volt, the amperage, and all the good information that we need. And it says like good recharge. You can have the option of good battery, good recharge, fully charged battery, and return to service. Or if it needs to be replaced. But I think we have a good battery right here. All right, next I'm gonna run the crank test. It says please turn on ignition. And you see it spits out a graph, a very useful graph. Shows you the max and the ignition graph. That's very useful. Wow, that crank test was fun. So I'm not going to cover the charge test. Let's go ahead and switch over to the OBD2 sensor usage. Depending on the model of your car, an OBD2 sensor is usually located on the driver's side underneath the steering wheel. So mine is right there, and notice the orientation. Just hook it up like this. Okay. And see, it's already started up. And right now I have my car on the off position. Alright, so here's how you use the navigation button. You up, down, enter, exit, and takes you directly to I am readiness, which is emissions test. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the Obd Lookup Code because I want to see what P2009 means. Okay, and that's P, and to skip to the next letter you would hit enter plus down. There you go. So 2 0 0 9. See, it's alphanumeric 5 numbers. Okay, there it is. Enter. Intake manifold runner, circuit board, circuits, control circuit, low bank 1. And you press enter. Is it possible cause? Intake manifold runner control monitor signal shorted to power. Faulty intake manifold runner control MRC. That actually sounds like what they said. So I believed him. I trust Mazda. Okay, now I want to check the OBD2. I believe it's going to require me to start my car. Ignition on. Okay. Okay, you see all this diagnostics. That means That means the malfunction indicator light is off, which is good. You see DTCs and ECU, a whole bunch of information. Readiness supported 8. Readiness complete 8. That means no failure. Everything looks good. Ignition spark. Data stream. Everything looks good. Okay. You can read codes. Has no faulty codes. That was just good. Okay. You can erase codes when they're stored. Like, for example, you refix something, you can erase it. I am readiness. You have data stream. I believe that gives you a graph, which we viewed before. See, it's going to run this course. It's going to do a graph. And you can also export all these graphs to your computer. That's what the data cable is good for. So for example, let's say I select that. Okay, it's going to do a graph of what I selected, the low PCT. Alright, so it's very cool indeed. You can probably export Excel and do a whole bunch of presentation and stuff. Let's go exit out here. This is amazing. You can do a freeze frame, O2 sensor test, whole bunch of information, vehicle information. I think that's going to give you the VIN number or something like that. Let's see if this actually works. Wow, amazing. Okay, let's go ahead and go to review. I am already very impressed with this. I'm learning a lot, by the way. You can review all the DTC codes, which diagnostic codes, which it has completed in the past. You could delete all the codes, delete all recorded codes. So let's say you're going to run our emissions test. Let's go ahead and go directly to the IM, or you can touch right here. Processing data. Look at, see, looks like everything passed. Green means it passed. The check mark means it's passed. Completed. X means it's not completed, and the do not enter mark or the cross mark means it's not supported. So everything looks good. Spark, no error codes. Basically everything means green. Air and HCAT is not supported. That's beautiful. Lastly, setup. Here you can change the language. It's defaulted to English, so you have a whole bunch of different languages to choose from. Hey, no Chinese. Alright, you can change the unit of measure, whether SI, metric, English. You can have it turn off the beep if you don't like it. Say some, I don't know if it's annoying. You can record, like for example, if you want to record what you see on the screen, so you can record like graphs and whatever code you see, you can take it to your mechanic and you can show them. You can transfer it over to your computer. Alright, background. Oh, night mode. Hey. Okay. And feedback is where you could start recording, like something like this. See? It's recording right now. Everything that I touch on the screen is going to record, and then it's going to record so you can talk to your mechanic better, so they understand what type of code you're seeing, what type of error you're seeing, making this very useful, very awesome. So as you can see, having one of these OBD2 scanner really is useful, especially if your car encounters any error codes. You can do your research at home and plan accordingly, whether you want to spend the time or the money to fix it yourself, especially if you know if you are fix it type of guy, or rather you just take it to a mechanic, but at least now you know that what the mechanic tells you is not fake. Learn more about what your car is telling you with the ANCEL OBD2 scanner.